Hello and welcome back to Kerbal Sutra, and before we get started, I just wanted to say a couple quick things. My From the Depths episode 3 video that I did and accidentally made it like half of episode 2, and I screwed up with the editing and naming of my files, and that's why that happened. I'm going to make a new video of it that's fixed, and I'm just going to silently upload that and replace it in the playlist, so those of you who've already watched it, there you go, or whatever. And stuff. I'm also trying this new thing where I'm trying to do like Kerbal Sutra video every day and then other videos in between or whatever. I'm not sure how that's gonna work out. I've managed to do it for a couple days in a row, or I think I did, and I don't know, so hopefully that keeps working out. And I might stream American Truck Simulator, although by the time this video goes up, I might have already done that earlier in the day, in which case go to my Twitch channel and then you could look at the recent videos or whatever, or I might do it later. I don't know, I might not. I just thought I'd mention it. So, what are we here for today? The X-02. And actually, before I go any further, I also wanted to mention again my friend with the medical bills who needs help. If you can spare a dollar or whatever, you know, that would be nice. And also, I have a Patreon, because apparently a lot of people don't know that. So, yeah. So, the X-02. Yes. This is inspired by Ace Combat. There is a plane in Ace Combat called, I don't know which Ace Combats, but there's a plane in Ace Combats that's called the X-02, and yes, this is using the radome from BD Armory. Of course, if you'll remember from, I forget how long ago I figured this out, but I figured out that an NCS adapter and then either a fly-by-wire avionics hub or the, whatchamacallit, the little nose cap thingy, this small nose cone, if you replace it with, actually no, the small nose cone, it doesn't weigh as much as this, so, actually, I'd have to do the math on that again, but essentially, you could roughly replace these, so I could make a stock version as well. In fact, I will do that, so that, people can download that version if they want. As you can see, it's kind of a very, very sleek design. It's mostly built out of wing, like the main fuselage structure is wings, with other pieces kind of held into place, and there's a bit of strutting right here in the back because the fuselage is essentially two halves from this point back. Unfortunately, for being realistic as far as BD Armory combat goes, that actually makes this this plane rather weak because wing pieces are easy to take out, and since the main structure is held together by wing pieces, if this thing got shot, it would probably, like, you get a hit anywhere in this section and you could take out like the whole rear of the plane, and then the whole thing falls apart pretty quickly. But I wasn't really worried about that when I was designing it. I was just trying to get the approximate design correct. I know it's not, but I just noticed these are clipping in here, and that bugs me, but I'm not going to worry about it because I've already designed it, and I don't want to go back and fiddle around with it more because I like it how it is. And it is based on the X-02 from Ace Combat, as I've already said. Let's show the sensors of lift and mass and thrust and stuff. Thrust is pretty freaking obvious. I don't know why I bothered to even show it, but there we go. Oh yes, there's also one to toggle afterburners. Nothing else that was set up because I didn't weaponize it or anything. I figured I'd just kind of leave it in this state and go from there. And of course, let's give it a little flight, a little flyabout. Oh wow, I didn't realize it would bounce that much on the runway. Nice. Yes, this is 1.1.3 actually, finally. I finally went ahead and upgraded to 1.1.3, which improves the suspension problems, which, to those of you who are saying I was not faking it, but like just an idiot about landing gear, they fucking like acknowledged the problem like a long time ago, and they've been working on fixing it, and they have, apparently according to some people like who have been playing with 1.1.3 for a bit now, they haven't quite fixed the suspension problems, but they've come pretty darn close. So yeah, that's a thing. And I'm right! Sorry, I just have this need to feel right. It's one of those mental issues that I've been working on. But yeah, X-102, no, X-2, wow, I almost crashed it there. Alright, let's go ahead and activate the afterburners so you can get a little more speed going, a little more turning with those thrust vectoring. And you can see it flies pretty well. Let's look at the, yeah, it flexes a lot when it flies. You might have noticed the wings actually will flex outward. And so it makes it, it doesn't perform rolls as well as I would like, but I think it's okay. Like, I like it anyhow. Like, normally I get kind of annoyed when a plane doesn't have the best roll control because, like, you can get into some sticky situations if you don't have the best roll control. But I like how this performs, and I enjoy flying it. I enjoy the way it looks. It definitely looks insane. It definitely looks pretty crazy. I'm going to go ahead and time warp just to... Oh yes, since this is a new install, of course it will warn me about that every time. And wow, that the thing was flapping its wings like a little birdie. Oh my god, that's great. I'm gonna turn off SAS and just kind of let it spin stabilize. There we go. Accidental spin stabilization and then spin unstabilization. Wow. Holy shit. This thing got into an uncontrolled, wow. That's crazy. Alright, we're back in control now, but holy shit, that was crazy. Alright, so now that we're flying up at a higher altitude, I'm going to, actually, I'm gonna, not a higher speed though. Okay, now we're picking up a little bit more speed. Lost quite a bit of speed turning up like that. Wow, this thing, I like it. I like it. I mean, obviously I already know that. Obviously I like my own designs, to some extent at least. I mean, why else would I be doing this? But, wow. I'd only flown this thing very briefly before making this video, but anyhow, essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to see... oh, excuse me. I'm going to see how well this thing handles me dropping it like a stone with full afterburners, going straight down, and then pulling up at, I'm going to say 2,000 meters. And the reason I say 2,000 is because it can be a bit slow to pull up sometimes, plus we'll be going at a pretty high speed, and we're over a higher terrain area. Like, it's not that high, but it's a little bit higher, so I definitely do want to pull up a little earlier than I otherwise would. And, let's see. Get it right about there. Alright. Another thing I wanted to briefly mention is I believe these, yes, the engines are ever so slightly rotated. See that? So the thrust isn't perfectly straight on, but it does go closer to the center of the mast that way. Alright, so 6,000, 5,000, 4,000, 3,000. I'm actually going to pull up now, even though that's earlier, because I was getting a bit afraid that I wouldn't be able to actually successfully pull out of that. However, as you can see, it did successfully pull out of it, and you can also see that it did perform well at extremely high speeds, so that's good. Flapping. Yeah, this thing does not like time warp, and I'm pretty sure that's to do with the very strange and loose wing design, because the wing, as you might have noticed, is actually made of several pieces. It's made out of 4 pieces attached to each other, not to mention the ailerons, of course. And so it's very much a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a structure that is very flexible, and so that can lead to oscillations very easily. Alright, let's go ahead and doing a very large barrel roll because this thing's roll isn't so good, and I didn't want to... Yeah, see, I had to cut that short a little bit because I was heading towards the ground too fast. See, that's what I'm talking about. This thing, at these speeds, at this altitude, I can't do a proper barrel roll because, at least not that way. Like, see, now I can do a proper one, but I couldn't do one from level flight because doing one from level flight would have just thrown me straight into the ground. Yeah. So there we go. The X-02. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'm actually going to go ahead and make this version the armed version and make the stock version, and then let's fly the armed version a bit. By the way, does anyone else find it strange how screwed up the GUI system is? Look at this. Look at this. What are you doing, game? Alright, so I decided to design 2 variants, the A and the B. I haven't designed the B yet, that will come later. I've taken longer than I meant to on this. But this is the A variant. As you can see, it has 6 AIM-120s and 6 AIM-9s, and so it is ready for air-to-air combat, theoretically. Theoretically. I'm just gonna say theoretically in case, you know, it's not. But, yeah. And there's also a gun right here. I thought that would be a nice place to put a gun pod. Well, it's not really a pod, but a gun. And, yeah, and it's got, oh yeah, it's got ECM jamming down here, which, will probably drain the batteries way too fast, and I should add fuel cells and or batteries to this or something, but, I haven't tried it yet. I don't know, maybe it'll be okay, I don't know. The hovering stuff you see there is for the B variant, obviously air-to-ground, I mean, yeah, air-to-ground weapons, but here we go. Alright, here goes. What was I going to do? Oh yes, I was going to do this. Just gonna get this off the runway for a moment. I don't know what's going on with the AI. Like, I don't have an AI module. For some reason, the game, I just don't have an AI module. Maybe it was removed. Maybe it's not working with 1.1.3. I didn't realize. It's basically, we're lucky that BD Armory is working at all in 1.1.3 because it actually hasn't been updated since, since 1.1.1 BD Armory? No, Bahamutto has basically vanished, so I don't know what's up with him, when he'll be coming back. The reaction wheels are on. They should not be. They should not be. Oh yeah, it's toggle torque. There we go. Alright. Let's, I was gonna spawn another one in here and do some combat with the AIs, but we don't have the AIs. Maybe I'll spawn one anyhow. Actually, what I decided I'd spawn one of the stock ones, and, interesting. That's a bug. This also probably hasn't been updated for 1.1.3, and, has issues due to that. That's unfortunate, but, as you can see, here we are with a partially destroyed one, and we could just finish destroying it, maybe, or go to the wrong thing. Okay, here we go. Yeah, let's just go. And let's go ahead and arm the trigger. Weapons. Aim 9 for now. And, oh yeah, we should have our settings, because I copied the folder over instead of just, instead of reinstalling from scratch. So, here we go. Let's go over here and let's just minimize that for now. And before we go and attack that, let's go take a look at the monolith. Because yeah, they made the monolith bigger, more obvious. If you didn't know this was here, yeah, it's been there for a long time. They just made it bigger and more obvious. Alright, we're gonna go, we can't do radar, really, so that's why I'm using Sidewinders at the moment. Uh-oh, those might crash without... Yep, one of them crashed without even hitting it. The other one did, though. Alright, throttling back up. We're going to go up, and we're going to do like a dive run on it. Let's get up a little more speed, a little more altitude. And... should get a heat lock. Yep. Come on. Come on. Oops. Oh shit, pull up, pull up. I did not pull up in time. Let's pretend that didn't happen, okay? Can't even tell which parts are what now. But yeah, here we go with the A variant. It's very nice. I like it. Of course I do. I need to go resave this with the reaction wheels turned off. And for now, though, I'll just go ahead and show you. We got AIM 120s, of course. Dink, dink. I think that was all of them. Nope, there's two more. There you go. Then we got AIM 9s, which it's going to fire the wingtip ones first. Then I'm guessing the wing ones. Yep. And then these ones underneath. Ah, yes, very nice. And then, of course, we have the gun. Yes, very nice. Ooh, lots of speed. Alright. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Flares and countermeasures. Pretty cool. I decided to do the kind of Russian design where they come out the top. And the chaff comes out the bottom there. And, of course, we have the ECM jammer, like I already mentioned. And actually, let me turn that off for a moment and switch weapons. And let's look at resources for a moment. Right? Alright. Reaction wheels. Nope. I want to not rename them. God damn it. I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. Disable the torque, so we're not using any torque. And then now let's activate the ECM jamming. I'm pretty sure I activated it. Yeah. Wow, it's not even slightly using our power. Alright, but the moment I turn off not thrust vectoring, the, the afterburners, then it does start using it. But it looks like it'll go for a while before it runs out, so I'm okay with that design. Even though it means you can't have permanent ECM jamming. That's okay. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you in space.